Net25 is now available on OSN, the largest entertainment network in the Middle East and North Africa.
Watch your favorite Net25 shows on OSN, Channel 725, same day as the Philippines.
Net25 shows live and on demand anytime,
Anywhere or any mobile device on OSN Play.
Agila Balita, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 7:30 hanggang alas 8 ng umaga.
Magandang umaga, ngayon ay Miyerkules, Oktubre 9, 2019. Narito ang mga balita mula sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Ito ang Eagle News International Philippine Edition. Sa ulo ng ating mga balita. Hong Kong bukas sa pagtanggap ng tulong mula sa mainland China kaugnay ng nagpapatuloy na kilos protesta. US President Donald Trump tinawag na scam ang impeachment inquiry laban sa kanya. Karahasan sa Ecuador nagpapatuloy bunsod ng protesta laban sa fuel price hike. 4 na homeless men sa New York City pinatay habang sila ay natutulog. Suspect na aresto. Ako po si Ben Bernaldez, ang inyong magiging tagapagbalita. Sa detalye ng mga balita. Ipinahayag ni Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam na hindi nila isinasantabi ang pagtanggap ng tulong mula sa mainland China para resolbahin ang lumalalang karahasan dahil sa nagpapatuloy na pro-democracy protest. Sinabi nila na sa ngayon ay nais pa rin niyang makahanap ng solusyon na hindi isinasangkot ang mainland. Ito rin anya ang posisyon ng Chinese Central Government sa Beijing na ipaubaya sa Hong Kong ang paglutas sa problema. Gayunman, sinabi nila na kapag lumala pa ang sitwasyon ay wala na silang opsyon kundi tanggapin ang tulong ng mainland. Iginiit naman ng Hong Kong leader na isisikapin pa rin niyang gamitin ang political, legal at policy instruments kabilang na ang pakikipagdialogo para tugunan ang problema sa lungsod.
Well, first of all, it is too early to say that the anti-mask law is not effective. I'm sure you will agree that for any new policy or new legislation, it will take time for it to be effectively implemented. At this point in time, I still strongly feel that we should find the solutions ourselves. That is also the position of the central government, that Hong Kong should tackle the problem on her own. Okay. But if the situation becomes so bad, then no options could be ruled out if we want Hong Kong to at least to have another chance.
Tinawag ni US President Donald Trump na isang scam ang isinasagawang impeachment inquiry laban sa kanya. Ginawa ni President Trump ang pahayag sa White House kasunod ng paglagda sa US-Japan Trade Agreement. Anya, hindi maaring ma-impeach ang isang presidente na may magandang trabaho.
You can't impeach a president for doing a great job. You can't impeach a president for having the lowest and best unemployment numbers that we've had in 51 years. You can't impeach a president for tax cuts and regulation cuts and creating, and even the ambassador would say, the strongest economy in the world.
Magugunitang inakusahan ng ang presidente ng Estados Unidos ng pagmando kay Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky na humanap umano ng damaging information sa mga business dealings ni Hunter Biden, ang anak ni Democratic Presidential Candidate Joe Biden. Si Hunter Biden ay board member sa isang Ukrainian gas company sa pagitan ng 2014 at 2019. Nikahit ng France ang Turkey na iwasan ang anumang insentiba na makakapinsala sa ginagawang pakikipaglaban sa Islamic State Group sa Syria. Ito ay sa harap ng pahayag ng Ankara na itutuloy ang pagpapatupad ng opensiba laban sa Kurdish forces. Inanunsyo naman ng Estados Unidos na i-pull out nila ang mga key positions sa northern border ng Syria para bigyan daan ng Turkey na labanan ang mga Kurdish militants na itinuturing nilang mga terorista.
Nous allons être extrêmement attentifs à ce que ce désengagement d'une part des États-Unis qui est annoncé, ainsi qu'une éventuelle offensive de la Turquie ne crée pas de manœuvre de diversion dangereuse du point de vue de l'objectif que nous poursuivons tous, c'est poursuivre la lutte contre Daesh, et dangereuse pour les populations locales qui sont sur place.
Donc vous allez voir un exemple.
Nakipagpulong si US President Donald Trump sa mga senior military officials sa White House. Binigyang katwiran ni President Trump ang kanyang desisyon na i-pull out ang US troops sa Syrian northern frontier.
And you watch the speeches. We want to bring our soldiers back home. These are the endless wars. And we're not fighting, we're policing to a large extent. We're policing in certain areas. We're not police, these are fighters, great fighters, the greatest in the world, and that's what they do. So I've told President Erdogan, I hope he's going to treat everybody with great respect. You have to understand, they've been fighting various of the people that we were working with, and Turkey's been fighting them for many years. Somebody said hundreds of years. Secretary of Defense, and by the way, congratulations on.
Ang iba pa mga balita sa pagbabalik ng Eagle News International Filipino Edition.
Kapag ang puso'y natutong magmahal, bawat tibok ay may kulay
Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 7:30 hanggang alas 8 ng umaga.
Soccer, the world's favorite sport. And it's no wonder. Spectacular goals. And plenty of emotion. The best of game day. Kickoff.
Innovation, digital disruption, globalization. Startups, micro, small, and medium enterprises, as well as large corporations, all face interesting challenges in the market today. Peek into the world of exciting opportunities and partnerships to drive growth with the latest business news and information. We are open for business. Join the conversations to create a more vibrant environment for entrepreneurship. Catch Open for Business every Saturday from 5 to 6 p.m. Open for Business, from vision to action.
Mga isyung panlipunan. Mga isyung pampolitika. Tatalakayin, lilinawin, kasama ang mga batikang komentarista, Congressman Dante Marcoleta at Jen Sobartiaga sa Ganang Mamamayan. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga.
Kasagupa ang mga protesters at Ecuadorian forces sa pagpapatuloy ng kilos protesta laban sa fuel price hike. Nagmarcha ang mga protesters patungo sa capital ng Ecuador, subalit sinalubong sila ng riot police at Ecuadorian military. Gumamit din ng tear gas ang mga otoridad para buwagin ang hanay ng mga protesters na nagmamarcha sa bayan ng Makati. Inanunsyo rin ng Ecuadorian government ang pagkubkob ng mga protesters sa 3 oil facilities. Sinabi naman ng leader ng Umbrella Indigenous Organization na CONAI na si Jaime Vargas, mahigit na 20,000 pang indigenous people ang darating sa Quito para sumama sa kilos protesta. Inanunsyo naman ng Ecuador Ministry of Energy na naantala ang operasyon ng 3 oil fields sa Amazon region matapos itong kubkubin ng mga protesters. Kabilang dito ang private firm na Petrobel at ang 2 kumpanya na mula sa state company na Petro Amazonas. Bunga nito, apektado ang 12% ng oil production ng Ecuador. Inakusahan naman ni President Lenin Moreno ang kanyang predecessor at dating kaalyado na si Rafael Correa at si Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro ng tangkang kudeta at paggamit sa mga indigenous groups laban sa kanya. Inararo ng isang truck ang nakahintong sasakyan sa isang crossing sa German city ng Limburg. Ayon sa pulisya, sinalpok ng truck ang nasa 9 na sasakyan na nakahinto sa isang intersection. Agad naman naaresto ng mga otoridad ang driver ng truck at nalamang ninakaw niya lamang ang nasabing truck. 17 katao naman ang nasugatan sa insidente, kabilang na ang driver ng ninakaw na sasakyan. Naaresto na ang isang suspect sa pagpatay sa 4 na homeless men sa New York City. Kinilala ng New York Police Department ang suspect sa pangalang Randy Santos, 24 anyos, na humaharap ngayon sa kasong 4 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder at unlawful possession of marijuana. Sinasabing pinagpapalo ng suspect ang 4 na lalaki habang ang mga ito ay natutulog.
Responding officers arrived at the location. They discovered an unconscious male lying in the street with severe head trauma. A second male with head trauma also approached the officers at the scene. 2 witnesses informed the responding officers that an unknown male wearing a black jacket and in black pants struck the victim numerous times in the head with a metal object. An expanded search of the area revealed 3 additional victims, 2 in front of 2 East Broadway and 1 in front of 17 East Broadway. The 3 males on East Broadway had severe head trauma and were pronounced deceased at the scene. The 1 male at 2 Bowery was pronounced deceased at the scene. The second male at 2 Bowery was transported to Cornell Hospital in critical condition.
Ayon sa advocacy group na Bowery Mission, nasa mahigit 63,000 katao ang natutulog sa New York City shelter system, na sa 4,000 katao naman ang natutulog na lamang sa mga kalye, subway at iba pang public areas. Sinabi pa ng advocacy group na ilan lamang sa factors ng pagiging homeless ay ang pagkakaroon ng mental illness, substance abuse, kakulangan ng affordable housing at kawalan ng trabaho. Ang iba pang mga balita sa aming pagbabalik.
I am Teacher Sally, and this is Kid Kwento, one of Net25 Kids' online shows. Kid Kwento is now on TV. You can watch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 to 4:30 p.m. Also watch Anong Sa Inyo with Ate DJ every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 to 4:30 p.m. Sa Kid Kwento, ang aming motto ay, let's all read to succeed! Hooray! Kita-kita tayo ha! Bye-bye!
Mga isyung panlipunan. mga isyung pampulitika. Tatalakayin, lilinawin, kasama ang mga batikang komentarista, Congressman Dante Marcoleta at Jen Sobartiaga sa Ganang Mamamayan. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga.
Here we are in New Westminster, British Columbia, with what the Guinness World Record has honored as the world's tallest tin soldier. Tune in to Digital Nest every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 only on Net 25. My name is Archie Roasted TV Dad, your EBC correspondent, and I'm one with 25.
Dalawampu't-walong Chinese entities ang isinilalim ng Estados Unidos sa blacklist dahil umano sa rights violations at pang-aabuso sa mga Uyghurs at iba pang Muslim minorities sa Xinjiang region. Ayon kay U.S. Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross, hindi palalampasin ng U.S. ang brutal na suppression sa mga ethnic minorities sa China. Anya, ang mga entities na kabilang sa blacklist ay hindi papayagang bumili ng U.S. products. Kabilang sa mga blacklisted firms ang video surveillance company na Hikvision at maging ang artificial intelligence companies na Meg7 Technology at Sensitime. Ang pagpapatupad ng nasabing ban ay sa gitna ng umiinit na tensyon sa pagitan ng US at China, partikular sa issue ng trade policy. Ipinahayag ng incoming Foreign Affairs Chief ng European Union na pagtutuunan niya ang pansin ang Balkan region at ang eastern neighbors ng Europe at hinikayat din ang EU bloc na pamalagiin ang ipinatutupad na sanctions laban sa Russia. Sinabi ni Spanish Foreign Minister Josep Borrell ang nakatagdang hahalili bilang EU Foreign Policy High Representative na ang pinakamagandang paraan para aksyonan ang Russian expansionism ay ang pagsuporta sa mga bansang katulad ng Ukraine sa kanilang pagsusulong ng democracy at prosperity. Magugunita ang pinatawan ng EU ng economic sanctions ang Russia dahil sa ginawa nitong pananakop sa Crimea at ang pakikialam nito sa nagpapatuloy na kaguluhan sa Ukraine.
Je pense vraiment que les Balkans et la frontière est de l'Europe, c'est les grandes priorités de notre politique extérieure. On ne peut pas dire qu'on est géopolitique si on n'est pas capable de résoudre les problèmes qui sont dans notre voisinage immédiat. Que les Balkans et la frontière est
Ang tuberculosis ang sinasabing major killer sa mga kanlurang bansa hanggang sa mid-20th century. Subalit hanggang ngayon ay namamalagi itong problema sa mga developing countries. Noong 2017, nasa 400,000 katao sa India ang namatay dahil sa naturang sakit. Kaya target ngayon ng gobyerno ni India Prime Minister Narendra Modi na mawala ang TB epidemic sa kanilang bansa pagsapit ng 2025. Panoorin natin ito.
We have the highest burden in terms of drug-resistant TB in the world globally, and again, it's difficult to deal with, and it needs the right kind of diagnosis. But there is medication available now, except the access to these drugs is limited, and they are pretty expensive.
The only way to move towards a reduction of numbers is find as many as possible, and remember that every TB patient, every undiagnosed, untreated patient infects 12 others. When you find one case and you treat him well, you have stopped a fountainhead.
Mula 1964, ang Neil S. Blaisdell Center sa Honolulu na nakilala sa iba't ibang pagtatanghal sa mundo ay isa sa ilalim na sa major reconstruction. Ang multimillion-dollar budget para rito ay isinailalim naman sa pagbusisi ng mga public officials. May report ang ating Hawaii correspondent na si Joji Carnate.
I think our community leaders saw it as the way we see it now. It as sort of the center for the culture and arts in our community.
Located east of downtown Honolulu, between South King Street and Kapilani Boulevard, is Hawaii's largest and most popular community complex, the Neil S. Blaisdell Center. This includes the concert hall, exhibition center, and arena. The city's Director of Enterprise Services took some time to share with Eagle News about the rich history of this place.
So the campus that we're sitting on right now, the Neil S. Blaisdell Center, opened in 1964 as the Honolulu International Center, 22 acres. To me, it's a great story. It replaced the Honolulu Civic Auditorium, which was a couple blocks down the road on King Street from where we are. Very modest facility, probably sat on about an acre to an acre and a half of land, one structure that everything fit into. Wrestling, concerts, roller derby, graduations. Our civic and community leaders at the time had a much grander vision. They took us from this postage stamp of land on one facility to a multi-facility venue on 22 acres of land. I believe this site was selected because from looking at the newspaper stories at the time, it was lamented as the last open space in Honolulu in 1964. They were talking about how we were taking the last open space in Honolulu and creating this gathering place.
For more than 5 decades, the Blaisdell became the gathering place for events like concerts and other events for many famous people. One of those celebrities was Elvis Presley, who is still remembered to this day for his live performance that was also shown worldwide via satellite in January 1973. Eagle News got to visit the very dressing room where the king of rock and roll prepared for the historic concert. Meanwhile, one organization that utilized Blaisdell's facilities through the years is the Iglesia Ni Cristo or Church of Christ, as seen here during their most recent event.
The grand celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Church of Christ in the 58th state has just concluded here in Blaisdell Arena.
Guy also described the city's goal to finally give the Blaisdell a new and refreshing look. The price tag for this master plan is currently almost $800 million.
Right. Our goals for the designers was one, water has always been a significant part of this campus that needed to be in the future. Two, the Blaisdell, when it was first conceived and opened, was dedicated as a memorial to Hawaii's veterans, and we wanted to rededicate it in that fashion. So there needed to be a significant component to the design that honored that nature of the Blaisdell. And so we have this War Memorial Plaza that is one of the major entries into the future campus. Basically, everything on the campus is rebuilt other than the concert hall. That will stay and be significantly renovated in the interior. A little bit of the exterior will be touched. The rest of the campus comes down and gets rebuilt, but the arena is going to look like it was rehabilitated as opposed to rebuilt, because we're rebuilding it to look the same.
Guy and other city leaders have acknowledged the concerns of clients who frequently use Blaisdell's facilities and have repeatedly engaged with them with hopes of maintaining their trust and loyalty during and after the construction period.
We have several annual tenants, and some who have seasons here. The ballet has a season, the symphony has a season, Hawaii Opera Theater has a season. And we've been talking to those groups and many more, especially the ones that also have exhibitions, about alternatives. The unfortunate thing is the city doesn't have an alternative. We don't have another facility that these folks could go into and hold their events while we're under construction. But we've been having the dialogue with them, and we feel like we've had it early enough that they can start to look for alternatives on their own. And we were concerned that all of our efforts to try to keep a particular facility open may not end up being beneficial if people, for one reason or another, decide they don't want to come down to a construction site to see an event. So the easiest thing was to say, we'll close the facility all at once. If we have an opportunity to roll venues back online one at a time, then we would do that. So presently we haven't been taking bookings for anything past December of 2020, which is our scheduled closure.
Reporting from Honolulu, Hawaii, this is Joe G. Carnate, Eagle News. I am 1 with 25.
At yan ang kabuuan ng mga balita mula sa iba't ibang bansa. Itong Eagle News International Filipino Edition. Sa pangalan ng mabubuo sa Eagle News Service, ako po si Ben Bernaldez, and I'm 1 with 25. Susunod ang Agilang Balita.